Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and today's Sunday. You know what that means. That means I'm going to be answering your property investment questions. Maybe you're thinking, but Samuel Leeds, what do you know about property? You look just so young and slim. Maybe you're not thinking the slim part, but I've been in property for now 12 years. I bought my first house when I was 17. I'm now 29, 30 next year, and I've done over 300 property deals. And I take all my experience, condense it, and then answer your questions. Use my knowledge, my energy to help you out in your journey. So please do me a big favor, and just as a way of giving back and showing your support, smash the like button and drop a comment below. Not just a comment telling me, oh, thank you for your videos. They're obviously really nice. I like those videos. But I need your questions, your property investment questions, because without your questions, without your comments, I have nothing to talk about. So you comment your questions below around property investing, how you can become financially free. The next step, if you've got niggly questions on problems, if I'll do my best to help you. So comment below. In the meantime, let me start answering some questions from last Sunday's video. Wayne says, simple, buy now or buy after Christmas when we can see more clearly where the market is going to be. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Listen, you're never going to know exactly what's going to happen, okay? My advice would be buy, but make sure you're buying for cash flow. Because if you say, where's the market going to be? What you're basically saying is, if I buy a house, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? It's going to do both. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go round, but ultimately long term it's going to go up. So you need to make sure when you're buying a property that's going to produce monthly cash flow and profit for you. And then regardless if the property goes up or down, you're still going to be in positive every single month. The definition of an asset is something that puts money in your back pocket every single month. As long as the property's doing that, I wouldn't worry too much. So general consensus would be, don't stress too much about what's about to happen because we never know for sure. And those people that wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, end up doing nothing. So just make sure you're buying for cash flow. That's my biggest advice. Next, Leo says, if I have no income proof and bad credit, but have money inherited and need to invest it, what are the chances of getting a buy-to-let before a residential mortgage? So Leo, you're going to probably struggle to get the best rates. If you've not got great credit, it's going to really limit the amount of lenders that will lend to you. However, you'd be surprised. There are still banks out there and mortgage companies that will give you money because if it's a buy-to-let property, they're more concerned with the property than they're concerned about you. Because what they want, they're a bank, they're a lender, they're giving you money. They need to know that you're going to be able to pay the monthly repayments or the interest payments. If it's a buy-to-let property, they're going to look at the property. If it's good, and they can see that it's very rentable and buy low, rent high, it's a good property, well-yielding property, they're going to be more open to it. So my advice would be to speak to a mortgage advisor. It might be that for the first 6 months, maybe buy a little small property, get a bit of landlord experience, get your credit better, and then start scaling, or joint venture with someone who's got good credit and put them on. And it's called tenants in common, where you put somebody else on the mortgage with you. You can always refinance them off down the line, but there is it's very possible. My biggest advice would be, don't rule yourself out. It's easy to sometimes say, I'm too young, I'm too old, I've got bad credit, I've not got enough money, but there's always a way around it, so you've got to be creative, and let me know how you get on, Leo. Great question. If you're enjoying the video, smash the like. Okay, I've got another Leo. Coincidence, this guy's called Leo Porter, different person. Hi Sam, I'm just wondering what's the reason why you rent your own house when you buy houses? I rent my house because if I bought it, it's a big house, okay? Multi-million-pound house. If I bought that house, the amount of money that I'd have to put down and tie up in the house, and it wouldn't be an asset because it wouldn't be putting money in my pocket every month. I don't put lots of money in stuff that aren't assets. So I'll rent where I live and I'll rent out what I own. That's just my philosophy. Makes financial and business sense. So that's why. Leo 2 says, I'm a Brit living abroad as an expat, have some savings and invest in the stock market, but want to start investing in property. How can I do what you do from outside the UK? Is there any way? Yeah, there is a way. If you're living overseas, if you're an expat, it's all about having a good team around you. You're going to need to obviously have a broker that can find you, that can get mortgages for you. So you're going to need a good broker. You're also going to need someone, what are they called now, like a money mover? Someone that can move your money from one country to the other. Try and make sure that you do it at a good time to also make money on the exchange rate. So if you've got a good team around you, also a good management team to manage the property, you absolutely can do exactly what I do for sure. So yeah. Cal W. Long time listener, first time messaging. Oh, okay. So you've been listening for a long time. What took you so long, Cal? And also, by the way, if you're watching this and you watch my videos but you don't normally comment, comment now. Do your first question below, and I'll try my best to answer everyone's question. I'm looking to buy a HMO. I understand a real estate crash is looming. Buy now and start collecting cash flow, or hold out for lower prices. Thanks so much. So again, similar question, Callum, to the question that I had previously. And my advice would be this, okay? And I'm only speaking from experience. Because in 2009, when I had the same doubts, I was thinking, should I buy now, shall I wait? Everyone was telling me to wait. But I just thought, you know what? I'm not waiting, I'm buying now. And I bought now. And yes, properties dipped, but they bounced straight back up. And now those properties that I bought in 2009, 2010, in a very bad, uncertain time, have doubled in value. Many of them, some of them more than doubled in value. So I'd say the same thing. Buy in an area that's bottomed out. Don't buy after a big rise. Every area has its own mini economy. So find out the economy, the trends of the area. And you've got to hope for capital appreciation, but capital appreciation doesn't pay the bills. Rent, cash flow pays the bills. So just make sure you're buying good. Make sure you're buying good houses. Joe Summer. Hi, Samuel. Thanks for answering my question about more complex ROI. I'm forever grateful. You're so welcome, Joe. That's what we do here, man. My next question is, what do you feel is the best way to network with other property investors while no networking events are currently running with COVID also on the rise again? Many thanks, Joe. Joe, you say that no networking events are running on and people aren't getting... That's not true. I mean, I'm networking every day. I've got events running. I'm doing things. I'm at business meetings. I'm connecting. People are coming around my office. I'm running discovery days in my home office with people, training them. They're networking. We're doing joint ventures. We're running our academy events back on. We're running events regularly for our academy students. So in the normal world, things might not be going on, but you've got to change your circle. You've got to get around people that are. It's very easy right now not to get out the house. Use COVID as an excuse. You can use COVID as an excuse for everything right now, or you can use COVID as an opportunity to get out in the elite property networks where you're with the Eagles, you know. So if you want to come down to a discovery day, by the way, meet me face to face in person, get to know me. I'll leave a link in the description below for the discovery days where you can come down to my home office. They're very, very limited. I only run maximum of 10 people at a time, and you have to pay a fee and everything. But you can see the details below. Okay, Cameron Johnson. Samuel, when will your courses, such as the crash course, be back? Our online courses during this time. All right, I don't want this to turn into a whole big thing about my courses and me. This is about you and this is about property. But I'll ask this last question about me and my courses, and then I'm going to move on and go back to property. But Cameron Johnson, to answer your question, I am running events. I'm running discovery days. I am. I also am doing online stuff. I'm going to leave the descriptions in the link. If you want to do training with me, you want to get mentored, I'll leave all the descriptions in the link, and let's get back to the questions. I hope that helps, by the way. If you like these videos, smash the like button. I'd really appreciate that. Shazad Butcher. Hi, Samuel. There's no help for new developers. What kind of help are you looking for? I mean, is this not help? Is this not help? Geez, Anyway. Simple question. I'm about to embark on a small project, first time, so a little scared. With the current economic climate, should I build or should I wait? If I wait due to recession, do you think the construction costs will be cheaper? I'm not borrowing, I'm investing my whole life savings into this project. That's why I'm scared, on the risks. Once built, I intend to pass it on to my kids to help them onto the property ladder. Please advise, you're the expert. What do you think? Shazad, I'd be very, very careful. The reason you're scared is because you probably lack confidence, and the reason you lack confidence is because you haven't got the knowledge. If you had the knowledge, you wouldn't be scared. Fear usually comes from a lack of knowledge. If you're scared about something, it's because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. If you are educated in an area, like you're not scared when you drive. You drive a car, you're not scared. Of course you might crash, but you're a good driver. You're competent. You're confident and competent, so you drive with certainty, not fear. The very first time you get in a car, you're scared. Especially if you get a bit speedy and a bit, oh, you get scared because you haven't got the confidence and competence. So before you spend your whole life savings onto a big development build, I would say you've got to get educated, you've got to get your confidence up, because the last thing I want you to do is to blow it, and that can happen in development. Maybe either start smaller, start with a little buy-to-let and get some experience in property and grow, or do this deal, but get a mentor. I'll happily be your mentor, okay? For sure, in the description. But just get someone to work with you, look at the deal, and make sure that this is going to work and this is going to make money. There's always some risk, but if you don't know what you're doing, you massively amplify that risk. So, hope that helps. Hunter Bear says, how to best structure integrating an investor into a deal. Do I put everything in my name and they just transfer me the money? Then we sort our cuts once the deal is done? Or do we have to be transparent with all parties involved and declare the investor all the way through? Great question. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Every joint venture agreement is always done differently. You could do it in your name. You could do it in their name. You could set up a company and buy it in both of your names and buy through that company. You could, if you're going to do it in their name, but listen, what you should not do is not just wing it and not have a contract. So if you're doing it in your name, which is okay, but they're putting the money in, they might not mind that. Okay, I've done that. I've had projects, many projects, whereby I've put the money in and it's actually been in someone's name. No problem. But they're going to damn well make sure, if they're putting all the money in, that they've got some kind of firstly a contract to say that actually, although this is in your name, you've got a contract to say that they're going to get their money out and you're going to split the profits however you decide to split them. They're also going to want restriction or charges on the property so that you can't go, you know what, I changed my mind, and just sell it. So even though it might be in your name, it's on the title deeds, it's going to have charges, restrictions. So how you structure it really depends on many things. Depends on your tax, if you're a high rate payer, if they're a high rate payer. I'm very happy to do deals outside of my name. You know, that's fine. But I know what I'm doing, and I'll make sure I have contracts and solicitors and stuff in place. So probably speak to an accountant about that. Speak to your accountant and just see what's more tax efficient. And also make sure you've got a good solicitor on board. And if you're doing any kind of joint venture, you need to really make sure that you've got clear roles and responsibilities so you know what's expected of one another. And if they're going to be putting in all the money, they're probably going to expect you to do all the work. You know, that's what you're getting your percentage split for. So, but as I say, joint venture agreements are a blank piece of paper and every joint venture is different. Hope that helps. Nick, hi Samuel, if I can borrow the money from an angel investor for the deposit on a buy-to-let, would I still get a mortgage, as I hear they like you to have your own money as a deposit? So Nick, if you're buying a standard buy-to-let mortgage and you're getting a 75% buy-to-let mortgage, they're going to want to know where the deposit came from. And if you say, it came from my mate over here, unless it's a gift. If it's a gift, no problem. But if you tell them, it's just come from my angel investor, they're going to have a problem with that. And they're going to have a problem with it because they're going to say, well, you're borrowing 75% from us, 25% from the investor. You have no skin in the game for this project, and they're not going to like it. So the way around it is usually to structure the deal differently. So you're better off to buy a property that needs a bit of work and to buy it using bridging loan, not a mortgage, and your investor's money. You're going to take bridging loan money, your investor's money, you're going to buy it. Bridging loans, bridging companies don't care where the deposit comes from. They're not bothered. So you're going to borrow a bridging loan, investor's money, buy it, no problems. You're then going to add value as much as you can, and then you're going to re-mortgage. You're then going to get a new buy-to-let mortgage on it, by which point they're not going to care who put the money in or because it's already been bought. And you're going to then refinance. And if you play your cards right, and if you add enough value, you should, if you do it right, be able to pull out all of the money that you put in initially and pay off the bridging company and pay off the investor, boom, and be left with a no money down deal. If you don't manage to do it, you'll still be able to pull out the vast majority. That's called the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy combined with joint ventures. So that would be the way that I would do it. I hope that helps. Nick, great question. By the way, guys, again, if you're enjoying this knowledge, I really try my best to answer these as concise as possible to help you, give you the maximum input and value. Do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, Aralel, thanks for the great training. Slightly unusual question. Can you refinance a property that you have a lease option agreement on? I.e., you've agreed to have the option to buy in 7 years for 120, but you've done some refurb on it and the value's boosted to 150. Can you refinance and pay the vendor now instead of in 7 years' time? Great question. So if you've got a lease option agreement on a property, my advice would be to wait probably until the end, not generally speaking, before you buy the property. If you do buy it earlier, you will struggle to get a mortgage on a lease option agreement property because the lenders don't like it when you bring a property to them and you say, look, I'm buying this house, can I get a mortgage on it? But you're not refinancing it because it's not yours yet, but you've had a previous interest in the property. And lenders don't like that and it can cause complications. So the way to do it, there's a few ways around it, but the way to do it is to either set up a brand new company called Purple Rain Limited, or whatever you want to call it. Set up a brand new company and then say to the owner, hey owner, I know I've got an option to buy this property for 120, but actually, I'd like to buy it now, and I'm going to be buying it in my company, Purple Rain. I hope that's okay. Now, Purple Rain will then buy the property. Then when the lenders lend the money, they're not lending it to you, they're lending it to Purple Rain, and it gets around that conflict of interest thing. Another thing you can do is you can buy it, like I said a moment ago, borrowing, getting bridging finance and an angel investor's money or whatever, and you can buy it that way, or your own money in bridging finance, but get a bridging loan to buy it, because again, the bridging companies don't care, and then do the works on the property and then refinance it. That would be a smart way to do it. I don't know if that answered your question exactly, but I hope it helped. Comment below. And guys, if you're finding this helpful, comment below. Ask your questions as well. If you get spin-off questions when I'm answering, comment them below and I'll do my best to answer. And good luck with your lease option agreement. Sabina Ali. Hi, I'm currently looking to get a buy-to-let property for a maximum of £55,000. I've been looking in Hull area but unsure what the rental market is. I was wondering if you think any other areas would be good buy-to-let investment. I currently have a buy-to-let in Sheffield, which I got 3 years ago. It's doing really well. However, £55,000 does not go far in this area. Sabina, I'd probably try and stick to Sheffield. Sheffield's a great area. And if you don't know the Hull market, yeah, Hull's good. Hull is good. But with many cities, you've got good and then you've got terrible, literally within a quarter of a mile away from each other. So don't buy in an area that you don't know. If you've already got a property doing really well in Sheffield, why not stick to Sheffield? Why does it need to be only 55,000? Why can't you do something higher? Borrow more, do a bigger deal, I'd need to know more about your situation, but my advice would be, sounds to me like you're saving the money, you're working really hard saving it and buying it, and now you've got 55. Maybe you've got less, maybe you've got 10 grand, but you can only put that towards a 55 grand house. You need to change your entire strategy. You need to be looking at lease options, you need to be deal packaging, you need to be bringing in joint ventures, you need to be doing BRR. You need to change your entire strategy is my opinion, but stick in Sheffield. I did my financial freedom challenge in Sheffield and absolutely bossed it. It's a great area. Life of a marathon. What's your opinion on the 5% deposit rule Uncle Boris has announced recently? I think it's great, although we don't know the full details yet, but I think it could be great. As long as you can rent the house out. No, you won't be able to rent the house out. It's 5%, right? You're only putting in 5%. Don't buy a new build. That's the sham. Help to buy where you have to buy a new build and you have to live in it. I don't know enough details yet. I had a debate with Russell about this on my YouTube channel recently. In fact, I'll put a little card. You can see the debate I had with Russell. We need more details was the conclusion, and Boris has not announced the details yet, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Big Boss. Love your videos, mate. Just wanting to know, if you buy a house with the mortgage of being interest only, how much tax do you have to pay, and is there a way of limiting the amount of tax being paid? Yeah, if you buy a house with the mortgage of being interest only, how much tax do you have to pay? It depends how you buy it. Tax is such a specific question. If you buy a property as a buy-to-let, how much tax are you going to pay? If you buy it through a company, the interest mortgage payments, you don't pay tax on those. It's tax deductible. You can claim it back. If you buy it as an individual, you're not going to be able to claim it back. So you're going to pay more tax due to Section 24. If you're buying a house to rent it as serviced accommodation, you're not going to pay any. Section 24 won't apply. So you're about to claim the mortgage payments back. So it depends how you buy it. I don't know if I can be much more helpful than that at this point in time. Maybe do a follow-up question. That'd be great. Ryan Morgan. I'm currently just finishing my second property, which in the middle of switching to buy-to-let, ready to move someone in the house. My first house was a flip, which I loved. But look at things a lot different after watching your videos with BRRs. I earned £50,000 return on my first flip, but now looking to build a portfolio, but 20% deposits on my next purchase. How do I get around this? Dude, you just need to do BRR. If you've done a flip successfully and made 50 grand, BRR is the same thing. The only advantage to doing a BRR instead of a flip is buy, refurb, sell. Take your money, pay tax on that money. Capital gains tax. Whereas a BRR, a BRRR, is buy, refurbish, don't sell, refinance. Pull your money back out. That's tax-free, man. You don't pay tax on debt. You then reinvest that money. And you got cash flow coming in because you rent the property out. So it's a very similar strategy. Okay, Ryan Lewis. When a limited company buys a residential property to fix and flip, do they have to pay stamp duty when buying? If so, what percentage? Okay, so it depends. Stamp duty, if you're buying a 100 grand house as a buy-to-let, you're typically going to pay about £3,000, about 3%. And as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the scale can go up. It goes up a little bit as a sliding scale. If you're buying it, though, as a fix and flip, if the property is not habitable to live in, if there's no hot water and no kitchen and bathroom, you won't pay stamp duty. So with fixed and flips, you want to make sure that you're speaking to your solicitor before you buy the house, but make sure that you don't. I wouldn't want to be paying stamp duty tax if I'm doing the property up. I'm going to be wanting to try and find properties that are unmortgageable, whereby I won't pay stamp duty. So speak to your solicitor on that one and try and avoid it. All right, last question. Last question. Michael says, you're a good man, Samuel Leeds. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Me and my family, we love you so much, and may the Lord honor you with a long and healthy life. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm going to end on that note. Thank you so much. What a great comment. I appreciate it. I do a video every single day, folks, on YouTube. And I appreciate the kind comments. I appreciate the questions. And, keep the questions coming. I'm going to keep answering them. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, smash the like button. Drop a question below. Also, if you asked a question, I'm probably going to answer your question next week. Not definitely, but I'm going to answer a load of them next week. Last thing you want to happen is you type a question in and then you don't see the video. And then a few weeks later, you come back and you've lost it. So make sure you do subscribe, okay? I'll put a subscribe button right here. There we go. Subscribe, click that thing right there. Turn the notification bell on. If you want to do some training or some mentoring, you want to come down to my home office, I'll leave the link in the description where you can get more training, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Peace out. Thanks for watching.